All right. So we are here, and it is the grand gathering that which hopefully, and there's a hope that it will occur, but also not occur every year. Uh, Here, where magic users from across the world and countries come together, um, different philosophies of how to do magic and work and understanding the world, trying to unite to stave off of the growing withering and the plague known as serpent sickness that is threatening the world at large as well. This the sickness which has been spreading over the last 2 years, the withering that was caused by an attempt at a type of solution to the sickness for the last year, both of which are in a much discussion. And so far, there has been more philosophies of how to approach the problem, indicating people don't even know like where to begin or where to start. As you've heard various things, some people say we need to farm more to produce more ladies' veil. Others are saying that we shouldn't look at the grand things, but other um, wise, very specific cases, specific villages, uh, which align. That's the lantern, which align to the brass roots, which sort of have the idea of utilizing technology to just be able to live within the world as it is, becoming a better and stronger, essentially humanoid uh, people within the lands. And of course, you all have had very heated and emotional arguments, as is wont to do, as is everybody else. And through these arguments and your public debating, you have noticed that there is a little bit of a following that you have gotten. As you move from speaker to speaker, people are becoming interested in what you have to say. Even if they've already heard these people give their presentations before, they're like, oh, what are they going to think? What type of questions are they going to ask? As you've kind of shown yourselves to be these somewhat critical and thinkers, but also in a very emotionally intelligent and caring sort of way as well. That seems like you're thinking of many, many angles at once. So every once in a while you look and people not crowding, still giving your space, do kind of gather wherever you end up doing so. Take breaks when you do so they don't miss any things. But in your quest to still try to understand, you can hear, like, very specifically a group that I'd say before all of you are coming in, people generally avoided. Um, they seem to have the vibe here, I think, is the people we had to invite so we could say we invited everybody. Um, Group. And these specifically are various high ranking mages of Haven itself. Some people are scared because they don't know if they're there to spy, they're there to possibly report other people from Haven for being traitors and whatnot. So there's a lot of, I think, gossip and like worry about their presence. But they do have what appears to be several displays with cloths over, kind of waiting for people to gather, trying to get people to come and say their deals, mostly represented by a very well-dressed and presented a woman, hair done in like a very sharp bun, and everything very meticulous, no stray hair, very well manicured and put together, who is kind of leading everybody, and every once in a while turning saying, okay, do you have that? If we get people's attention, we need to make sure the presentation is correct. Remember, simple, straightforward, and kind of going about the works to get everybody ready for what might come. kind of seeing this, how would you all like to approach?
Sorry, my audio went out for a second. This is the person from Haven?
Yes.
Well, Alice would make sure that her crowd that were following around her would make sure that they saved her a good seat up in the front, as was her place to be, before making a few moments to see if there's anyone amongst the presenters that she knows, and or introducing herself, just trying to make sure that she knows the goss, as it were, as to who and what they are, and making a few introductions.
Absolutely. Go and give me a presence then.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
That will be a 16 with hope.
A 16 with hope. All right. In that case, I think one of the things you're able to determine here is why some are really given it a wide berth, and possibly even, I'll say, might herself give a slight thought here, as they all mages who are trained within Haven ultimately have to go under a certain apprenticeship, and then that name carries with them for the rest of their life. And all of these bear the having apprenticed under Archmage Phylax. Whom is the one who stole the eye in the first place.
Is that a commonly known fact in Haven?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I see that you're here to try and help us in regards to finding a better solution for today and tomorrow and the future. So it is good to see that those who have created the problem are now here to help educate us on all of the future for tomorrow. And perhaps a little bit of PR won't hurt you either, my dear.
She gives a short nod. I didn't expect someone from your family to be here. I didn't realize that you were associated with magic. How long have you been a student?
I just graduated from the academy myself this past season. But I'm expected to carry out more of my family duties, and as they could not be here, I am here. And I bring a different perspective to the world that maybe, more collaboration, more cooperation on all ends would make a better world for all of us.
And who did you apprentice under?
Well, she thinks, because she just thinks about the number of teachers that she tore through because they displeased her.
Yes, there would be one in which you had to have had to graduate.
Yes, no, that's why.
Which is totally cool. Yeah.
Yes, but well, that would be the Marquess the Marquess of. It's almost like she forgot for a moment because.
Yeah, which definitely gives this woman a few mixed emotions about you. Okay. Well, and seeing that you brought a few people with you as whomever else is arriving, she this kind of clears her throat and goes, thank you for at least hearing us out. We have thought of a possible solution, and while she's almost like kind of clearing her throat, it's as though She's trying to find a confidence that she's almost certain she doesn't actually have. She's while we have come to hear from everybody else, given a history, we thought we should at least come with something to be considered. And so we have. And says the eye is gone, and we have no idea how to get it back, and we've not heard anyone even talking about really doing so. Therefore, while some may focus on how we might adapt and how we might help people, which is of course important, what if we could take over the jobs that has been left behind? Certain factions in Haven have already tried to do so with brutal methods, but what if we could make a new device, a new eye of reaping that functionally at least would do similar things, broadcast and be able to make seasons happen, ideally more pointed and limited than the worldwide effects of either eye. Targeted reaping.
Above table, quick question. You did say there is a well-known fact this person was the person who stole the eye in the first place, or
Their master, the person
their
they
master?
did.
Yeah.
Well,
So Sarah's not present, and I would say in this type of thing, they're not like they don't have to. They can be here without their approval. It's just who taught them.
like
And-
Michelangelo
Yeah.
would be. And
Yeah, it's
yeah, so it's not like they're on their behalf or anything like that. But
I just missed an important fact. That's why I made you. Yeah.
Well, what I would say, based off of my own experience presenting before the crowd, make sure you emphasize the humanity portion of it above all else, because they are very sensitive to that matter. Speak with some details in mind, but don't get overly complicated, lest they just all fall asleep on you. And I'd be happy to take your proposals both to my family, and also to Marquise de Bellamont, my instructor at the academy, and see if she knows anyone who else who might be able to, if your proposal is sound, further your cause back home.
to seeing that all of you have come and somebody and people are gathered, she kind of makes a decision. You can see in her head and removes a smaller cover that's on the table, and you can see what appears to be this small red eye-shaped jewel that she takes, affixes onto her staff, and rips off another, not the largest cover, and you can see a plant that somewhat small, maybe only like a foot around, that does seem to sort of move on its own, obviously withered and affected by the effects, as she holds it over, and red light shines, and you see it begin to wither and decay a bit, start to age, and then entirely dry up and go brown and experience fall and a dormancy.
Is she doing this in front of all of us, or is
Yeah, she's showing it, and then she takes it out, and as soon as she stops, you can see tiny bits of green veins start to sort of reassert themselves, not super quick or anything, but evidence that this thing hasn't been killed, but it has been made dormant for a period of time.
Whoa, what's that?
This is wrong.
It's our prototype. It's essentially what Nycta did. She would cause growth, and she would cause dormancy. And now, it's possible, if we can get what we need, that we could band together and do it ourselves. We could replace what was stolen.
But
That decision.
but who says that this artificial, is that what's it called? Eye does work with Nycta's real eye together.
Well, and she kind of looks at what she's done. She goes, "This is a proof of concept."
You don't.
Rated by the sewing eye, and our eye has been able to cause a dormancy. Of course.
Sorry, Rook. You meant to say something.
Oh.
You don't count the cost. You shouldn't do this. This should not be Haven doing this.
It won't be. We have brought this as a possible solution.
And who does it?
Isn't that what we're here to discuss? Isn't that the point? We're all bringing what we think might work, and my understanding is that the magic users of this continent would come together and choose a path.
And no one knows what happened to the real eye, even you who studied under, that guy.
The eye is gone.
Donald, you're muted if you're talking.
And Stella, since you're right into this, go ahead and give me it's your choice. I think either an instinct or a presence reaction.
Okay. Can it be a presence reaction? Now you said so, then I will try that. Okay. You look nice. Okay, that's wow. That's a 7.
Okay. And I have no information to add.
Sorry. Well, it makes sense for Stella, to be honest. She's talking out of her ass. She takes the facts that she knows and she stipulates them together.
Look, you said this was wrong. What would be your counter proposal to this situation?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you Roke. Is there anyone else here named Roke?
No.
So you said this is wrong. So what about it strikes you in that regard?
I didn't get the name either.
When I was younger, there was a drought, and I was starving, and all the plants had dried up, and the trees stopped making fruit. And I had eaten meat before, but I hadn't really thought about it. I managed to make myself a bow when I left Larwood. Doesn't matter. But I was starving, and I shot a deer, and I was so excited. I did it, and I was not gonna be hungry anymore. I ran towards it, and the baby was next to the deer that I killed. I killed its mother. I didn't count the cost. And I don't think Haven counts the cost. So I think all of us should be skeptical. I lost everything. I have no one because of Haven. So I don't think that we should trust it. And why aren't we studying this? When a piece of a plant gets diseased, you cut it off and you stop the spread. Why aren't we looking at the spread, or looking for a cure versus perpetuating this this devastating process to band-aid something.
I mean, who's been looking for the eye is my question. You know that it's gone. And I mean, it might be gone. I don't know that shit. It's just... Do you believe it has just evaporated? In the time and space? Or might it just be also... I mean, I know people probably did look for it, but then again, they also stole the eye. So... I'm not sure they have the best interest of finding the eye again. But could it be that it is somewhere still?
Well,
the Reaping Eye?
Well, we certainly
mean-
couldn't say.
I'm sorry?
I said we certainly couldn't say.
Okay.
If we could make the world a better place by just simply returning, obviously, I believe this woman. What is your name, Mademoiselle? By the way,
Kayla.
Kayla. If Her Majesty, Kayla would, agree if we could just return it and make things better as they were. I surely they would go ahead and do so. But you bring up a valid point that has been brought up repeatedly during this course of who makes the decisions in regards to how, and there have been some questionable ones that have not always considered the grand picture, I would admit. So, but the possibility, while a solution is being worked on to keep people safe in the wild, I think would be proposed to local communities and see if it would be beneficial to them if it was working without drastic consequence, and let each community decide. No.
But the question that I have in my mind is, I mean, it's obviously a prototype, so I don't know what goes into all that finishing stuff. But I mean, there is the possibility that it goes horribly wrong. And my question is, who then makes the decision? Okay, this was a bad one. Let's take that back out.
I think those are excellent questions, and I imagine need to be addressed at our meetings this night.
I don't mean to impose. I don't really know a whole lot about nothing. Could we not give eye to the Shepherd of the Seasons where it's supposed to be? Nick
mean the artificial one?
Oh yeah. Nita could determine when to use the eye. She's the one who did it for all the time.
Good point.
She looks at her compatriots. I suppose that could be discussed.
I mean, I would be concerned that an angry deity would be pissed off and decide that, certain areas of the world would no longer be blessed at all if we were to do that. But
it kind of sounds like her prerogative, but I mean, okay, don't ask me. I don't know a whole lot about nothing.
I mean, consequences are shit. But that's like, but also, did you just look like you bit into a sour fruit, Madam Kayla?
Yes. Well, I guess that's one thing that we're going to have to decide is we're here as independent users, practitioners, but all of us have allegiances. All of us have those we might need to go back to. And certain courses of action might have to preempt our involvement, unfortunately. But all that to say, in other words, I guess, from Haven's perspective, I think it is possible I can say that there are many in Haven who are horrified at what has occurred. Archmage Phylax acted within their faction on their own. It wasn't a universal decision by the city or by the country. Most decisions aren't. Most actions aren't. But there will not be support for something that has a high likelihood of harming or significantly diminishing the positive aspects of what has occurred. If Fenwick wishes to act alone, they wish to act alone. But if cooperation is possible, we should be thinking of how to keep the current high fertilization and propagation rate of Red Lady's Veil either constant and consistent as it is now, or even better. Thinking that we would just go back to the way the world was, with Haven facing extinction, is not something that we're going to support.
Do you think you could innovate the sewing eye?
What? But the sewing eye is here.
Well, but its balance did not benefit Haven enough. What if we return the Reaping Eye? Or some similar thing to Nicta, and the Shepherd of Seasons controls her seasons, but farms on their small scale have a sewing eye that they can use on their property.
Our research has not been in that direction. But she kind of looks at her compatriots and they all give her like a little nod. I don't think that would be out of the question of things to discuss.
To be clear, I think in general, my beliefs align with Rook's that these are band-aids, but it don't mean people aren't bleeding now.
What would not be a band-aid?
Returning the real eye, but we don't know if we can.
And find some other cure for the serpent sickness.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Do
But I do
we?
know that there are mages here
I mean-
currently working on something like that.
I, as a player, know the reason for the serpent sickness, but we, as characters, do not, right? Or do we?
I think
Or more or less, is it a common known thing?
I think it's probably up to the individual characters, because I think it's interesting. I don't know. I think the idea that it is because of what happened to Shunash is probably an assumed thing based on just the fact that people are turning to stone within the stone-bodied city
Yeah.
of the Granite Ophid. Like, it's just so like, okay.
Could
this
be
is
a working theory. So
Yeah, like
but
I don't think it's like, I mean, I think if people don't know, a lot probably go, this just makes sense, you know, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much of
but it's not.
But yeah, I think
not-
that's what people are going to think regardless.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Yeah.
No. Would have been sitting on a chair, swinging his legs, like kids do, listening. And we'll jump down, and he's been listening, and go over to Rook and take his hand and say, you don't have no one, you have one no. And together, I'm sure we can work something out. She seems really nice. What is that gem, though? What is that? I've not seen something like that before. Excuse me, is it Kayla? What?
Yes.
What is that thing on the end of your staff?
Oh, this is our prototype.
What'd you call it?
Well, it's the same as our, I guess, what we've been calling ourselves and what we hope to create. The Redemptive Eye.
Is it?
The redemptive.
Where'd you get it from?
It's a culmination of research from ourselves and other colleagues across Haven.
Oh, so you make it?
Yes. It's artificial. We used it to make something much bigger. There's several issues, power, fuel, and such, but that's, I guess, what we're hoping. If this is something that the community here would want to pursue, that's what we could all start to put all of our minds towards.
What's it made of?
She smiles. She goes, there's quite an extensive list. The major here is a focusing ruby, which is what you really see here. Enchanted by various means with, honestly, a mixture of arcane formula, products, and influence from some of the new entities that have sprung up from the Withering that have more of a, I guess, negative effect on the nature around them.
Can anyone use it, or just magic people?
You'd have to have some ability with magic, ultimately, but certainly wouldn't require a large amount. But fairly basic training.
I don't know if there's an equivalent of an insight check in Dakar's.
I don't
what
know
she's telling
all
me is kind of true.
Yeah, so I would go ahead and you can go ahead and give a, I would say, instinct roll.
I don't know about all this magic stuff, but doesn't it kind of sound like she's telling us nothing really?
Of course. I got a. Oh no, hang on, what's that? Sorry.
Might just be that I'm not very versed with that stuff.
What did I roll? It disappeared before I saw it. I think it was a 14, but I think it was with fear. Is there a history on?
It was that.
Oh, okay.
A 14 with fear. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You can see examining into her. She's definitely being a little cagey on exactly the procedures of how to do it. I'll tell you get that it has more to do with she probably does not have permission to share some things at this point, especially with it not being adopted. That she kind of looked like there's just certain things that she feels like she can't say. Those with still the attempts of trying to, I think, give information, but also her general hope is that she can sell the idea and that can soften people up to what's going to be required. She doesn't want to lead with the cost. And so she's very much trying not to do that in this initial kind of foray.
Can I do one more thing and just turn to the plant? I don't know if she'd let me, but I'd just like to.
Yeah, she very much will.
Examine. Okay. I just want to get a sense as a hedge witch whether, I mean, I don't know if I would, but see whether it was literally just a kind of decay type thing and there wasn't any other kind of effect that on it. Do you know what I mean? Like a sort of side effect or a poison thing or something, I don't know.
Oh, very interesting. Give me a knowledge roll.
Okay. I got a 9 with hope.
I'm with hope. I think. Yeah, examining it, I would say it appears as though all the evidence of dormancy is there. You don't see, not able to see anything that would look like something negative has occurred.
Red veins or black veins.
Right. Yeah. It just seems on par with natural dormancy.
Cool.
Also, Pete, to answer your question from before, if you click the little dice bag, there's a little clock that you can click on that'll show you your history rolls.
Awesome. Thank you.
And yeah, then to Anita, as you're answering your thing, yeah, they are being a bit cagey, trying to give as much information. They're trying to give information, but there are things that they are not seemingly able to say.
To be fair, I just said that in character because
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's fair. It's fair. It's just, I feel like she doesn't have any idea about all that shit.
Yeah.
And maybe because of that, she can even more say like, they are saying stuff, but it makes no sense. And it's saying nothing.
Yeah, I think at that she says, this takes fuel. Especially on a larger scale, we will have to do tests to determine exactly what is needed. But the concept is there. And I think that we know how to do things a very certain way. We study the arcane, we study chemical reactions and how energy goes with that. However, for instance, the specialty that is brought by the Lantern Witches, the specialties that are brought in by the druids that are here are outside of what we know how to do or even consider. Therefore, we would welcome people who understand that to turn their attention onto solving it this way, and hopefully find solutions that we have not been able to.
Madame Kayla, in listening to my fellow connections in the past, it does not seem that you have carried their favor in a positive light, as you are unable to explain clearly what the costs are. However, I am sure that other groups might be interested in regards to, as Annie suggested, that wonderful Dillam that she is. A sewing eye might be a bit more beneficial, and maybe that your efforts should be put forth in that regard on how to help the farms maintain without the overall violence to everybody else without an extreme cost.
Of course. If that is a direction that we agree to take here, we would like to be a part of that. As we would like to be a part of any direction that is decided. What?
I think that was just an echo.
Oh, okay.
What happens if it's pointed to something that's not a plane? What happens if it's pointed to a person?
Towards what?
What happens if that is pointed towards a person?
We've not done that type of test. She kind of like give it a little. I would imagine it isn't overly pleasant, but we haven't done that type of testing upon it. I would think. I mean, I'd imagine it wouldn't be great.
So you've come here to show us a weapon.
In the way that a shovel is a weapon.
I don't see the connection.
Well, you can dig or you can smack someone over the head with it. anything can be turned to negative use.
I think that's a pretty weak argument. It could be a weapon, though, right? Just like a shovel, it could be a weapon.
Yeah, just like your hand that plants seed can be turned into a fist and beat someone's brain in. It's no more or less likely to be used that way than your hand.
Can I ask another question?
Alice, just
so-
before you... I'm sorry, go ahead now.
So you pointed that at the plant, and it had that effect. So it's a directional effect. So if you're making something big, how are you going to control what it?
Yeah, that is part of the issues we'll need to solve. What we have been able to understand is we've been able to, I'll show you. And she does unveil essentially looks like a mirror that has, looks like they've been treated in arcane sigils, and is able to shine the light, and it is directed towards, that's how she uses like a target, just to show the light is shining upon it. And then she demonstrates some ways to focus it, to change it, and to somewhat demonstrate that, at least in theory, on small scale, one could directionally put it into certain places, so that some places could experience seasons while leaving farmlands growing.
I mean,
Turn to Rook and go.
As you said, everything can be turned into something worse if it's in the wrong hands. I guess the thought occurs to us, maybe because if something that can potentially hurt people, even if it's done in another regard, it is done to reap stuff, so it is trying to fill that place of something that was there naturally. I guess what needs to be... I'm sorry?
I was just going to say, it's not natural.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to finish my thought
sorry.
now.
I'm sorry, Stella. I was thinking about the weapon. I'm sorry.
No, it's not natural. You
Strength.
said, I think... Oh, that's nice. Thank you. So, I'm not as smart as you guys, so I'm taking a little bit longer. But what I mean is, I think it's important that there's more people than just one people being kind of... I think if some person are in control that have an ulterior motive, it can turn to some shit. And so Nikta kind of has the balance as a motive, so to speak, I guess. And people always have their own, motives. And so it would be really hard to decide who's it. Like, there needs to be a couple of factions from both who need to have a say in it. I know I don't sound smart, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I think the discussion of putting this under the control or oversight of elected people, maybe probably from this gathering, is what we need to do, or to some type of independent action.
Because people have ulterior motives, I think that's... I agree with what Rook said. You could have shown us a weapon. I know you're right, as in the sense that a shovel is a weapon, but we also do know that people have their interests, and they're not always compatible with nature.
Stella, my dear.
Yeah.
You, Roke, No, and Annie have made a wonderful point. Again, you're not wrong. I understand where you're coming from. She's presenting merely her perspective, but I'm going to say this, Madam Kayla, based off of the treatment of what I have seen this is not for me or my family. As you said, you were a bit surprised to see us here. We will be leaving now, and Stella or Alize will walk out with the sycophants who've been following her and trying to curry favor, in just solidarity of agreement with Stella's commentary and everyone else's.
What just happened?
I got tired of talking, which is fine. And people begin to leave, I think, and depending on what the rest of you do, because not just following Elisa. Do all of you leave, or do you stay here?
I feel I did something wrong. Enchan, did I do something wrong?
Stella,
Yeah.
what do you think happens to a faint divinity that isn't needed anymore?
I think it will probably seek revenge.
I think perhaps there are consequences I didn't consider before.
I mean, look, I'm all for perspectives, or what it's called. It's just, I mean, I don't think you're right. It might be hard because if a faint deity that isn't needed anymore is looking for revenge, then it probably won't put equal measure in like helping everyone, which I get that there's a concern, but also we can't like that's kind of what they fucked with in the first place. So it is kind of the natural order. So I think it's really hard to find the right answer, because I do think it's cool that there's these ideas and innovations. I just think we need to really consider the oversight on stuff. I feel like when there's one person in charge of stuff, it usually goes south. I don't know. That's just what I think.
I think you shouldn't put yourself down so much. I think you have a really clear voice. It makes things clearer to me. And I think
Thanks.
you have perspective.
Thanks, Anjam. And like, she hugs you full frontal, like.
Oh, that's nice.
Thanks, Anjam. It's just all these wordy people like make me self-confident, like not self-confident, you know, like I lack something.
Words, what are they? Do the trees speak? Not usually. They're very important.
Oh, I love your perspective. Well, I think, yeah. What do you guys think, Rook?
Rook's
No?
gonna walk over to No and say, "Thank you for being my one No."
Oh.
There can be only one.
So cute.
I talk to trees. I'm sure they talk back as well.
You probably do.
I mean, yeah, it's scary. It's scary thinking about one person having control of something like that. It could be like a destructive weapon of the masses.
Yeah.
The cure at any cost is more dangerous than the disease.
I mean, it's true. It can affect anyone. So,
Yeah.
But is it very different than the way it was before? I mean, the Shepherd of Seasons is just one person who used to do it all themselves anyway.
Did he do it like that? Just
What do you mean, Rook?
well, did he do it just they would just immediately wither away? Would he do it so that anything caught in the path would wither away? Is that how he did it?
That's a good question. But nature can be cruel. You know that as well as I do, Rook.
Very.
And I mean, you lived it at the seasons, right? She would shepherd them in. Sure, it would take a little time, but wherever her eye looked upon would turn to autumn and then winter and then nothing.
But things would flourish in the different seasons, though, right? That squirrels would plant seeds and acorns in the fall, and they would know where to go. But if it's so quickly, how is anything going to survive that?
In the gullies, some of the plants survived longer than the plants above ground. Sometimes they came later, so I don't think it wasn't like it was one thing. It was different in different places. Whereas now it's just always everywhere. Can I ask an above question table? Only because I've got this ability, the Vicious Entangle. So would I have noticed in using that post this effect going on, whether that would have changed? Because it describes it as roots and vines reach out from the ground. So would that have been affected?
I'm confused what you're asking. Would you feel like your spell would work, or?
Well, because it's causing roots and vines to come out of the ground. That
when you choose to use,
they weren't kind of there waiting. It's almost like they've been created by the spell. So would the fact that there's more abundance, would that have? I'm not asking for a higher spell slot at all. I'm just sort of asking whether it would appear different now.
Oh, what if your spell would look different now that there's the withering?
No, would there just be more of it? Because the whole idea is that there's no withering, so it would. I guess it's not actually producing more; it's just not withering away. So I guess not. Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you for helping me work that out.
All good.
I guess the simple fact that we're wondering about it and going back and forth kind of means that it's probably a careful science.
Yeah.
Difficult for people like us to understand, and yeah, I guess in that sense could be dangerous.
What do you think about trying to find the eye?
I think it's a cool idea. It's just, where would we start to look? I mean, obviously that guy that originally stole it doesn't want it to be found.
He sounds like a dangerous, powerful mage.
Yeah.
I do feel like what we've heard here, the different ideas, they're not really anything we could necessarily be a part of. I'm not a member of the witches group. I'm not a member of Kayla's group or from Haven.
I can't do magic at all, but you can, I think.
I don't really want to go back to the fields and just carry on either. If there's a solution, I kind of feel like I would want to.
This all comes down to the disease. So I'm sorry, no. This goes down to the disease. So why don't we go and learn about the disease? Why don't we go to Haven? Because I think that's where it started, right?
Yeah, I do think so. And that's where people originally started from. I think that's why they expanded the whole red crimson lady's veil stuff.
And we were also told about those ancient runes that are from a language long forgotten, still here in Fanewick. Perhaps that has some insight about what all happened back then.
That sounds good. And also maybe looking out for that sewing eye might be a perspective. I mean, it might be a long one, so it might be better to find out some stuff before, I guess. But
What about those areas of like the kind of the ley lines where there's more kind of potent magic? Maybe we could pool well, those of us who are magic users could pool. Y'all could pull your magic together. I don't think I have a single spell.
well, if you're looking for someone who could protect you in the Widow Wild, that's us, right?
Yeah.
And in Haven too, obviously.
Or maybe this is what we deserve. Maybe the serpent sickness is what should have happened. Maybe this is just a consequence.
It's just like another sickness, and sicknesses come and go, and they take people with them.
And I'm sorry, no. I know that means that was your mom, and I know other people have died, and it's awful.
She
Awful.
didn't deserve it.
She didn't. She didn't.
But no one deserves a sickness and other sicknesses.
Something happened at Haven, though. I think. I don't want to. I think it's not wise to just blame Haven, but something happened there, and it spread. I
You
really
know,
blame Haven, but I don't know. How
I hate to say this, but we might want someone from Haven with us, and
yeah,
let's say does have a lot of knowledge and input, even though she takes what she gets from her parents, like this is gospel.
But maybe being with us for a while, she might, she might become
Yeah,
more like us.
she does have the heart in the right place. She might want to treat you as her servants for a little while. Sorry, Rook, I interrupted you. That wasn't on my intention.
no, you didn't interrupt me at all.
Okay. Also, I can't wait to do like another bet, and I can't wait to get out of this smart people talking stuff. Okay.
Should we go and talk to her?
Yeah, let's go. Let's convince her to do something big for Haven and Fanewick with us. LSA? Where did you go? Hey? Go!
You can see her, like there's a crowd outside of her big, giant, colorful tent.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. LSA! Hey!
As another voice just cries out her name, one that she recognizes. She sees Stella. Oh, perfect. I was just setting the table.
Can we get a couple of more people in?
Boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, I will be speaking to no one else for the time being. I will come and let you know when I'm available for the appointments, and she'll beckon for the rest of you to come in.
Oh, okay. I thought like you made them wait for appointments or something like that.
God. No, she sends everyone away and beckons for the four of you to come in.
Okay. Hey, so
What food is there?
The place, it actually at the moment there's very little food. However, there are 5 wine glasses set with actual drinks poured as if she was expecting people. And but it is essentially. Have you ever seen the shows where like people go camping, but it's just like comforts galore, and it probably takes several days to set up and take down? It is.
Glamping.
Glamping.
Oh, she is definitely glamping in this regard. I'm glad that you all came. You spoke words of wisdom in that tent, and gave me much to think about.
I did. I thought I said something wrong, and then you went away.
No, Stella, you said you spoke the truth that made me realize that this item would not be appropriate in the hands of my peers. I have seen, and my family has seen, how the other households of Haven can treat their servants, and while I admit we are not always perfect, we strive to do better. And so, thinking that my peers could have a bad day, just like if there was a deity who was upset with Haven, that if my peers were upset that there was a bad day for them, that they might turn it upon either their competitors or even the citizens of Fenwick. And again, that whole what does it cost? You have raised this point consistently throughout this convention. And it is a fair point.
Thank you, Alice. It's just, it's good that there are ideas out there. Why am I assuming some Andy boys here? What just happened? It is definitely interesting that there's there needs to be ideas, and there need to be like smart heads thinking about these ideas. So the idea in itself is not the problem. The problem that I see, as Rook said, is in the wrong hands it can be turned into a weapon, and usually it always falls into the wrong hands at some point. But then again, it doesn't everything.
So, I agree with you, and so that we don't spend the next hour rehashing such trivialities, you all have come here with some sort of purpose that you need more for. What can I do for you?
Did you say waffles?
You want some waffles?
Yeah, you said waffles.
I also want some waffles.
It is the accent. I do apologize. You came here with some sort of purpose, not waffles. Some sort of purpose. But
yeah. That's also important. Yeah,
but I can get you some waffles. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Well, Rook struck a chord there. Maybe you start us off.
About what?
Well, about a certain amount of things that we could actually do. Like we cannot create a sowing eye, we cannot create a reaping eye, but we could find out more about what started the whole the whole sickness. We can find more about what happened. Maybe we can even look for the original reaping eye. Annie, you said something as well. I think I can't sum up everything, but yeah, like and Noah said as well, like where we can actually make our difference, be part of the movement, so to speak, but not just in a talky point and raising points of well, this is a nice idea, but it can be weaponized.
It doesn't seem like this is going to end until we figure out the illness. Right? All this is about them trying to find this treatment.
Yeah.
But I think
That's fine.
we need to understand what's causing it.
Yeah.
Or how it's spread or anything about it. And I think if we can do that or learn about that, that seems to be maybe a good first step.
And there's those druids of Bristlemore. They said that there are some locations. They named one in Fainwick, but I'm sure there's more where, they're still yet to be explored. Ancient areas. We don't understand their purpose or what they say or what they mean, but no one's even looked yet. We could look.
Or are there people that are immune? Are all ancestries affected by the serpent sickness, or are all communities affected by it? I mean, it seems like it affected No's mom and Bog, and I mean, it's affected a lot of people.
Yeah.
Spread, but just learning about the illness. But we
And I
wonder,
mean,
going back to Haven might be a good first step. Go ahead, Annie. Sorry.
no, it was me. Sorry, I just you said it perfectly. Just we might need someone who is magically adept, and Rook and I can definitely be, protective and get anything that's in our way. And Rook can probably also do other stuff that I can do. But I will always be first at the hunt.
I do have this book, and No gets out the book that his mother kept, and it has spells in there that he knows, but there's other writing there that he doesn't really understand. But he carries it more as a kind of keepsake. I don't know if this will help.
Were there other like wise women or other people in the swamp who might be able to read that book?
Everyone's gone.
Everyone's gone.
She was a witch like me,
Oh.
and her coven. Well, she told me that when she got pregnant, the coven told her to leave, and so she went to the bogs, and that's where she had me, and we lived with these old people who, I'm not sure what the religion was, but there wasn't many of them, and it was all crumbling, and they all disappeared. But there was a brass door in the crypt that I tried to open once, and this smoke came out and went into my throat. So I shut the door. I don't know what that was, but
Oh gosh.
yeah, I don't really know much about.
You think we could find a coven that can help with translating?
I think No's first thought is, well, they threw Mummy out.
Yeah, I totally get that. Above table.
No,
I mean, it doesn't have to be those.
Maybe
maybe
your
they are anyway.
maybe your mom wrote things after she left the coven. Maybe she learned things in the bog.
It was the words in here I don't understand. I just understand what she taught me, which was mainly out in nature and with plants.
Oh, yeah.
Potions, simple stuff, really.
And LSA, we could use someone who's, knows their in and outs if we are looking in Haven. We don't want to cause any trouble.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no.
No,
Mom?
I thought you said my ins and outs. I wasn't quite sure. Sorry.
Minds and outs. Yeah. The ins and outs. Not mine.
So, what I'm hearing. Oh, go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
I would say, no, as you took this book out and like you're going through your stuff, you would have noticed that there was something there that you don't remember putting in there. Very specifically, there is what seems to be like almost like an envelope made only about an inch wide. That's made by folding like a small piece of paper to kind of origami a little envelope over something flat and a little heavy that has been pushed in with the symbol of a scarred, an eye that is scarred shut, drawn upon it.
What is that? I haven't seen that before. Take it out. To show you.
Do you want to open it up?
No. Yeah. Okay.
You open
I
up, it
recognize
folds
this?
out, and there's a message on the inside that just says, "What if there were no eyes?" And in coming out, you see what appears to be a small token that catches your attention because it is made of very similar material from what you, I think, were born out of, like what you remember coming to conscious. Okay, it was a Rook. Rook, you're the one who came into consciousness from something, right? Yeah, Rook, you notice it because it's made from that material, but like hardened. You can kind of describe what you think that might look like.
Like what the cocoon was.
Yeah.
It was kind of a webbing, dried vines, moss.
All right. So it's almost that like, but petrified and hard and able to be like carved and manipulated. And it also has that symbol of a scar, of an eye scarred shut.
What's this? Does anyone recognize this?
Would I recognize that symbol, Matt?
I don't think so, unless there's something that you might have issue with. I don't know about, but I don't.
No,
so.
no. Alize was kept out of the family business. So, okay.
And it's not in the book anywhere because it's an image, so I would have possibly seen it if it was.
Oh, you're kind of looking at your book now.
No. How did it
But
get
you
there?
do remember, like, you're pretty good at like packing. I think you would have known. So you realize, like, sometime since the last time you really looked in your bag is when this must have been placed in there.
When you say petrified, does it have similarities to what happens after the serpent sickness?
I mean, in that it's stone, I suppose, but
Okay.
But it sounds like what you're saying that is it's petrified, but not necessarily like in a serpent sickness, like maybe not the decay of the serpent sickness.
yeah.
Like petrified forest sort of thing, or
Like hard and crusty, not necessarily stone.
I was just going to say no would probably sniff it and maybe lick it as well, just
Yeah.
to kind of get a sense of it. But now that you've said that,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It definitely has been replaced with like mineral and stone, like kind of like hardened and very hard, like, you know, probably not quite stone, but like hardened moss, essentially, and worked into this workable form. Yeah.
And what it's about.
And so and because it doesn't so the serpent sickness ultimately ossifies people, so that basically makes them bone.
Okay.
Bone, not stone.
So I had some ideas to what you have just said to me, but that looks far more interesting for the moment. Where did you get that?
I haven't seen it before. It wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't there when I left. Somebody must have put it in there. I don't remember leaving my book. It's my book, so I don't tend to leave it. But sometimes I put it beside me. But
I wonder if it's from a faint deity. Help guide us.
a scarred eye seems kind of sinister. I'm going to put it, like you can put a coin in your eye and just kind of hold it there. try and do that. Nope. No effect, I guess.
Is there anything else in the envelope? A name, a place to discuss this, or just a question?
Just this message. What if there were no eyes? Or it could be, what if there were no eyes?
Do you mind if I take a look?
No, of course.
And as you hand it to Annie, she will take on stress to transform, and the symbol appears in the mouth of a German Shepherd. But I can still talk, and I still sound just like myself.
Lovely.
And I would like to see if I could track if somebody here if I could sniff it and taste it and try to track if I detect the scent somewhere else.
I like that. Go ahead and give me an instinct roll.
Okay. And
Somebody may want to help, or you may not want to help, but just remembering that you can spend a hope to help somebody. If you're saying something, Jeffrey, you're muted, or I can.
I will help. I have an experience that says always follow your nose, but I'm happy to help. I always use movie quotes for experiences. I'm using Lord of the Rings for this one. So
I love it.
how does help work if I have advantage from my beast form on locating?
So the way it works is, since you have advantage, you roll a d6 when you roll. But also, since Rook is helping, they'll roll a d6 as well, and you will choose which d6 you want.
Beautiful.
So effectively, the whole party could help with something, and then you would get and if you had advantage, you had 5 d6s to choose from as far as what bonus would be added.
and I just roll a d6. I don't add the experience to it.
No.
Okay. So we're rolling a d6.
Yeah.
4.
Nice. Sorry, I was also looking at
Sorry.
my experiences to see if I could spend a hope and add anything. But
Yeah, I would say that if you so wanted, you could spend a hope and use Rook's experience, since they are spending a hope to help.
oh, nice. Okay, yeah, let's do that. And this is my first roll on the system, so I don't understand what's going on. Advantage. I'm clicking, and I'm gonna add a +2. Wait, that's your experience, right? +2. Okay,
Yes.
great. And I'm also gonna minus a hope. Okay. Okay. Can I see what my 6 was? Okay, I got a 1 on my 6. So I'm replacing that with the 4. So I got a 13 + 4, which is a 17 with hope.
Nice. Perfect. With that, you're definitely getting a scent here. So there we go. So are you basically chasing after the scent? Is that what's happening?
Yes, I'd like to sniff them out.
Yeah. So, is the group following?
With a wine glass in hand.
Yep.
My waffles didn't come, but this is more important.
We didn't get a chance to go order them for you.
All right. So walking through, yeah, you're following your nose here and quickly determine this person's been nearly everywhere. Kind of in every space, a little bit more towards the back where one could get a really good view of a room and the people in it. And finally, it leads you back to the table of the Redemptive Eye within the area. You see an individual standing there. They stand about 7 feet tall, and you immediately recognize the obvious tell of a fungrel. Large, overgrown, wearing kind of thick, like animal hides and such over their body for protection. And they stand there, leaning against like a kind of overgrown large wall, like partial wall that just once was attached to a larger building, but overgrown to the point where you stop and you don't realize you found them until they like take a little breath. They've been just standing there. And I think I'll let you all decide how you broach this finding.
Not wanting to be too obvious about it, I think since Rook and I were working closely together, Annie would just go underneath Rook's hand and turn her head in the direction of that person.
I was going to say Alex, I should talk. But sure. I would.
Alice is going to hand Roke the wine glass. Liquid courage, my dear. And I will use my rally feature to give everyone a rally die. So you have a d6 that you can add either to an action roll, reaction roll, damage roll, or to clear a number of stress equal to the result till the end of the show.
Amazing.
That's an amazing feature, yeah.
Some bullshit.
And I will say, I was collaborating with Rook. If Rook wants to also toss it to No, that would be fine. Don't feel like I was insisting you do the talking.
I think No should do it, actually. Why not? Yeah. No, it was yours. I think I was like, no, I'll we're both on the shorter side, but I think you're a little shorter than me. I'll kind of lean down and be like, no. I think that she found out that it came from him. Why didn't you go ask him?
And he leaves the slobbery, the petrified thingy in your hand.
Okay, can walk over. And, excuse me. Any reaction?
Yeah, they look down and see what appears to be their eyes seem to be made of yellow petals that surround a circle of pink petals as they look down. at you.
Are you a druid or a magician? I'm no.
Well, hey there, no. It's good to meet you. You are, you're quite accomplished. I've been here listening to you and your friends. You and seeing Rook there looks them. You and your friend there nods them. I like what you have to say.
What's your name?
I just I lost a lot last year, so I just go by Gorge.
Can you tell me what this is? And I'm going to hold up the coin. Or the disc.
Yeah. An invitation of sorts. It's just meant to, well, let's just say, if you're so inclined, you can find a place where that goes. You might be able to talk to people who are of similar minds to you and your friend. I guess you could say people who have that token, who belong to that token, think a lot of what people are saying is a bunch of horseshit. Unless they've been listening and no one's really talking about what should be done.
I think I'm going to turn to the others and say, I'm not sure if... I think he might want us to join a cult.
Yeah, who are you speaking for, tall, dark, and handsome?
Goes, we're going to give our presentation soon. And you'll know who I speak for. But we're not a cult. We're just people ready to take action. That's all. And if you find yourselves ready to take action, let's just say at least you two will be welcome.
You have lovely eyes.
Well, thank you. Seems like your flattery is as poignant as your questions to all these hypocrites trying to say they think they can figure out what to do. I found that people who haven't really lost anything aren't too good at really solving anything.
What do you think should be done?
Our presentation's coming up. Hope you don't find that off button. Just, I'm not the one giving it. Don't want to steal the thunder.
I shall definitely be listening intently. I'll put the coin back in the paper and put it in my pocket. What time you want?
What? Sorry, Noah's voice is really quiet sometimes. About everything. What did you say?
Oh, sorry. What time are you on?
What time? Okay. Yeah. they kind of almost looks like they're inspecting a stage of their own growth on their arm. As you see, bits of it are actively like winding and rooting around, like they're in this constant state of growth as they go. And they kind of look where you can see someone's currently on the stage who is doing a demonstration of a ritual that they came up with for like detecting creatures who have been affected by the withering to the point of being dangerous or contagious type of deal, of spreading the corruption, and kind of what it would look like to be able, like, early warning systems. And it's showing like very interesting patterns, almost like veins and nerves that they're able to like to chart it, and talking about how the force has become a network of information. And then all of the lighting that's being used, magical orbs and such, suddenly go out and fall to the ground. And you see from the sky drifts an enormous owl feather. About the size of 7 people as it falls. And a woman's voice echoes from it. You gather to discuss cures. You gather to discuss balance. You gather to discuss patience. And another feather falls. While the architects of this suffering hide behind their towers, you call me criminal. You call me a rebel. Yet every tree that dies and becomes a monster knows whose hand began this. If the eyes remain divided, Fenwick dies. I will finish what Haven began. And there is a murmur. Some people seem a bit taken in by what they said. But you all would hear muffled screams about 10 feet behind you. And you see the leader here, Kayla of the Redemptive Eye, and one of her people would stay at the table with blades coming from their chests. Behind them are 2 dark green masked individuals, and the person you were just talking to takes everything on their table, throws it into a bag, gets it up, and starts to run.
Oh fuck!
We're ending there for tonight.
I was gonna say Alisaie's just screaming.
No!
Ugh.
How can you? No!
That was so Voldemort talking in people's heads in Hogwarts just before the attack.